Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Social Media Growth Hacks, a new channel that I've set up to teach you guys about social media, building your blog, and making some money along the way. Now, in today's video, I want to talk to you guys about one of my biggest fails as a YouTuber so far this year. So I set up this Social Media Growth Hacks channel back in April, right at the beginning of our lockdown here in Ireland. And obviously I've been working really hard at it for the past 3 months. I've uploaded 47 videos in total, which is pretty crazy. And I'm working really hard towards reaching that 4,000 hours of watch time, which is the minimum you need to get monetized on YouTube. So I'm working really hard to get the 4,000 hours. I recently just hit the 1,000 minimum subscriber threshold that you need. And I'm kind of always thinking of strategies of how I can get more views, how I can get more watch time, and how I can get monetized as quickly as possible. Now, while I'm happy with the growth of my channel and kind of how fast it's growing, it's not growing crazy fast, but it is growing. I'm at like 1,150 subscribers, and most of my videos get between, say, 150 and 400 or 500 views, with some of them getting like 1,000 or 2,000 views, which is pretty good for a channel that I only started on like the 9th of April or something like that. That said, I did decide about 2 weeks ago that I was going to test out YouTube advertising. So what this means is that if you were to search, say, digital marketing tips into YouTube, I would want my video on digital marketing to come up at the top. It would look like an ad, it would say ad, but it would come up right at the top of the search results. So I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like, a lot of people will find my video. Or if they watch a video about Pinterest, like Pinterest ads, then potentially my video about Pinterest would come up in the sidebar as a suggested video, which is sponsored and I'm paying for each time that gets shown or each time that gets clicked. And I wanted to share my results with you guys because honestly, it was like the biggest mistake I ever made. I absolutely wish I didn't do it. I do not recommend paid YouTube advertising to you guys unless you really know what you're doing and maybe your video ads are incredible and people click through and watch right till the end. But in my case, that wasn't happening. And I'm going to explain now why it was such a fail, why I don't recommend it, and why I wish I had never done it. Okay, so what you need to understand with YouTube is that views don't really matter. Subscribers actually don't really matter once you've hit 1,000, like that's the only threshold you need to monetize your channel. What really matters is watch time and retention. So retention is how much of the video somebody watches. Are they watching 10%, 20%, 30%, or over 50% of your video? Are you keeping them engaged? And do they want to keep watching longer to get more information? And because maybe they just enjoy you talking, enjoy your information. So that is retention, and that is so important to YouTube. So when YouTube is deciding whether it's going to show your video on the homepage or in suggested videos or just in the browse feature to people that have already subscribed to your channel, how many people that watched it isn't that important, but how long those people watched for is. So if you have really high audience retention for your videos, those videos are going to get shown more to other people on YouTube. And this is where the YouTube paid advertising fail comes in. So I picked 1 or 2 videos. Luckily, I picked ones that I picked 1 or 2 videos that were already doing really well. It was like TikTok versus Instagram and my sort of how to grow big on TikTok videos. So they had done quite well at the start, and I said, these are good videos. I interview experts. The watch time is pretty good, like 4 or 5 minutes. I'm going to use this for my YouTube paid advertising trial, and I'm going to see if I can get like an extra 1,000 or 2,000 views to these videos and hopefully build my watch time by like 100 or 200 hours. That was my thinking anyway. Now, while I did get lots of hits to these videos, and I was so excited at the start, I was seeing an extra 100, 200, 400, 500, I think almost 1,000 extra views to these videos that were all coming from inside of YouTube. So from people searching and then YouTube recommending my video. But these people were clicking on the video and then they were only watching like 10 or 15 seconds of the video, which is like, detrimental to someone's YouTube channel, detrimental to your YouTube retention time and your engagement. Now, some of them, the average watch time dropped from my original 5 minutes, which I felt was really good. People were watching over 50% of my video. And if I had just left it and didn't do the paid YouTube advertising, that video now would probably rank and YouTube probably would be organically showing it to people in suggested videos videos and browse features. But stupid Janet here decided to spend €15 and make this video into sort of an ad on YouTube so that it could get more views. And what ended up happening is my watch time average overall dropped to I think 1 minute and 23 seconds, which is pathetic, like it's so bad. And then I did discover that any of the other videos that I also promoted through Google AdWords and YouTube paid advertising, that the watch time has gone down on all of them, like drastically dropped. So I don't know if I'm ever going to recover those videos and the retention and the watch time on those videos. So yeah, I got more views, sometimes like up to 1,000 extra views. But because the watch time was so low, like 10 seconds or 23 seconds or 1 minute maximum, my overall watch time and number of hours watched didn't really increase. Like if you look at the day-to-day increase of my YouTube watch time, it didn't really increase at all. The views shot up, like spiked, but the watch time didn't. And views don't matter. If you want to monetize your YouTube channel, really all that you're working towards is watch time or watch hours. So you need 4,000 hours total. And even after I spent this money and I did the paid YouTube advertising, my watch time really didn't increase at all. My watch hours maybe went up by 10 hours, which is like less than it goes up in a day anyway from people watching my videos. So I was really disappointed. Yeah, I just wanted to share it with you guys and say I do not recommend this, and I don't think you guys should do it unless you really know what you're doing. And if I could do anything, I would wind back time and not take out those adverts promoting those videos, because I really don't think they're ever going to recover. Okay, so just to show you guys what I was talking about, I am going to share my screen now, and I'm just going to show you the videos that I promoted versus the videos that I didn't. And I'm going to show you the difference in average watch time and engagement. I'm going to show you the difference in like watch hours. And I think you'll see why it's probably a bad idea to do paid YouTube advertising. Don't even bother with it. It's such a vanity metric. Like, yeah, it looks like you might have 1,000 views on your video, but it doesn't make any difference to your watch hours. It's not going to help you get monetized. Okay, so here's my YouTube studio and my analytics for the last 28 days. You can definitely see the spike on the 2 days that I did the paid YouTube advertising. So I got almost 1,000 extra views on those days, which is quite a lot for me, and as you can imagine, I was quite happy with. But if you go to watch time, which is hours, you don't actually see any spike at all. You actually have to go through it carefully to find, okay, so 12 hours that day, and then on the 19th, 10 hours. So really no increase to my normal watch time on those dates. In fact, some of the days after that, I actually got a higher watch time when I wasn't doing YouTube paid advertising. Okay, so this is my Google Ads account. So you can see I didn't do any ads for all this time. And then for these 2 days, you can see the huge spike in views and impressions when I took out the YouTube paid advertising ads. So as you can see, I got 384 views that day, and the next day I got over 1,000 views. So you scroll down, then you can see my different campaigns for the different ads and how much money I've spent. You can see that I spent about €10 in each of these custom video campaigns, got almost 1,000 views on both. But the worst thing is you can see the view rate, which is the percentage of the video that they watched, was only 2%, less than 2%, and then 2.22% on the other video campaign. So just so low, like that's really low for watch time. 1.98% view rate, which on the second video then I had 2.22% view rate, which is still very low. You can see some of the selected audiences I picked, like people interested in social media and advertising. And then one other thing I noticed, which I'm really not impressed with, is I targeted all countries for my video. So I wanted my video ad to be shown to people in all different countries around the world. And yet YouTube decided to only show my video to people in India, which to me doesn't really make any sense and is really quite confusing. As you can definitely see, I targeted all countries, but it only showed my ad to people in India. This is the same with the other video campaign. You can see again, I wanted to target all countries, and yet 569 of the views came from India. So I would love for Google Ads to explain that to me. Right, back into the analytics of this TikTok video, the one that I did use YouTube advertising on. So you can see the spike in views. That's very clear for the views I got on those 2 days. Definite spike. But then when you click the watch time, the spike is ever so much smaller. Really, it was only an increase of about 10 hours total. I did get a few extra subscribers. That was nice, but nothing major. Then if you click into engagement to see retention time, so total hours
Average view duration of 1 minute and 24 seconds. You really have to find it. So for the 2 dates I did the advertising, the average watch time was actually less than a minute. Another way to demonstrate how low the watch time is, or the retention time. So this is all of my traffic sources for this video since it was published. So for external, people are watching for over 2 minutes. For YouTube advertising, people are only watching for 19 seconds on average. Browse features, almost 4 minutes. Direct or unknown, 4 minutes. Channel pages, over 4 minutes. Suggested videos, over 5 minutes. You get the drift. But all of this compared to YouTube advertising, which is only 19 seconds. It would appear the same goes for the other TikTok video that I promoted. So if I click in here again, into reach. So I'm going to click on all traffic sources for the lifetime of the video, and I'm going to see what the average view duration was. So there you go. The external is over 2 minutes, channel pages 1 minute, YouTube advertising 17 seconds. So it is significantly lower than all other traffic sources where people were watching for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, or even 4 minutes long. Another thing I want to show you quickly is the watch hours and how little they rose. So if you click into engagement and then watch time in hours, you really don't see a spike at all. So you saw a spike obviously in the views, but you do not see a spike in the watch time. I think it was really an extra 1 or 2 hours, even though I spent €10 on advertising. So go in and compare again, you really don't see a difference in the watch hours. So it is not going to help you increase your watch hours. In fact, if I click into watch hours and put it for since uploaded, you will see the tiniest bump there on the 18th and 19th. It will show you that I only got 1 hour of watch time and half an hour the next day, which is totally pathetic and definitely not worth the money at all.
So please do take this advice, and thank you guys for watching. If you have any feedback, do leave it below. And if you want to see more videos about growing on social media, building your blog and making money online, don't forget to subscribe below. Thanks for watching, and let's grow our social media together.